Welcome back to the final segment of the Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger Show. We've been giving you all of your real estate and mortgage news for Central Florida and around the country. What's going on with rates? They're plummeting, right, Bruce?
Oh, yeah,
they're plummeting. They're plummeting. Good credit. You're probably in the sixes, is what Bruce was saying earlier in the show. We were talking about the best things for resale value. We will help you with your real estate plan at Loveland Properties. Summer sales are cranking right now, I think.
Yeah, things are picking up.
I think it's just it's a good season. Week. And I just think the people, we're going to talk next year. Hopefully we've got a good election this fall. Next year, we're going to be talking about how we told people to buy because now the buyers are dealing with 5, 6, 8 multiple offers on properties. Rates are in the low sixes, high fives. We're going to have things like that happening, and you'll hear about that. So, but thank you for tuning in to the Loveland Report today. We hope you're having a great weekend. I want to wish happy birthday to my lovely wife, Brenda.
Oh, happy birthday, Brenda.
Happy birthday. So I've got some listings real quick here. I've got a great starter home. This is one, Bruce. $380,000 for 1,400 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath with a 1-car garage. The nice thing about this is one of the best communities in Lake Nona. You've got so many features in this community.
It's hard to get in Lake Nona.
Fitness center, tennis center, dock on the lake, on Lake Nona, gated community. You got single family homes in this community, so you got great resale. And this is the best price for a townhome with a garage in Lake Nona, $380,000. And then I've got commercial property in Coco on US 1 for $1,150,000. I've got 5 acres plus a 2,500 square foot building, metal building. Be great for retail, great for storage, great for a shop. And then I've got a condominium in Doctor Phillips for $199,000. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, second floor unit. Nice thing about that, you've got vaulted ceilings. You got a great water view. It's 1,200 square feet.
Nobody pounding on the floor above you.
Yeah, exactly. Then I've got one for $310,000. I've got a probate deal in this is in Royal Harbor in Tavares, right by Howie in the Hills, just across the lake from them. This is a 55 and better community with a nice clubhouse on the lake, and they take care of the grass for you. You've got a guard gate, 1,600 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, fresh paint, fresh wood floors, fresh carpet. And then I've got 10 acres which leads me to my next subject, Bruce, after I give out my phone number, 10 acres in Apopka for one home. And I think somebody that bought this could probably get it split if they spend enough time with the county. They could probably split this into a couple lots. But right now it's zoned 1 house per 10 acres. It's $618,000. And call me at 407-352-8118 if any of these homes interest you, or you have something in mind that you're looking for.
That's a great property if you're looking for your own estate.
If you want a farm or a place to store all your commercial equipment, build your barn and build your storage building, build your house right in the middle of everything. You're not way out. You're not 45 minutes outside of Orlando. Now, Bruce, that leads me to my next question for you, construction perms.
Sure.
And I've got a lot of people they're finding land or there's a manufactured home on it. They're yanking the manufactured home off, and they're going to build a house on it.
Yep, you can do that. We've got the products for you. We've got construction perms for conventional loans, FHA loans, and VA loans. I can go up to $1.5 million with no money down for a veteran on a construction loan. Most banks and lenders won't even do a construction loan on a VA loan. I'll do them all day long. We've got tons and tons of transactions going around right now with local builders that are built on your own lot, or Cleve can go out and find a lot for you, and then we can build your own custom home on them. I can hook you up with, my friends at Eastern Homes, or Ted Riley's building 3 or 4. He's building a couple for clients up in Ocala in Lake County. But we can help you with that. And with our loan, our construction loan, it's different than most. Most construction loans, you close twice. You close for the construction money, then you close when it's finished. And it takes you 2 closings and 2 closing costs. With us, we do 1 closing. We lock your rate in up front. It's closed. The loan's done even before the ground's broken, and it's finished. And then once the house is completed, I allow you to do what's called a one-time float down option. So if interest rates are better, I let you float down to the prevailing rate at that time. Yep. It's a win-win all the way around. I just think
you guys literally have so many products out there. And also the other thing interesting to me, because I'm probably going to do one in the next couple of months, my goal is to buy 2 more houses this year, and a DSCR. Tell everybody about that.
So a DSCR, debt service coverage ratio, is what that means. And it means that you're not verifying your income by providing me with pay stubs or bank state or tax returns. You're providing me with a lease on a property that you want to buy or refinance, and I will use the income from that lease as the income. That's all I use. I don't use anything else.
So
if we're looking for a 1-to-1 ratio. So if your payment's $3,000 a month and you're getting $3,000 a month in rent, then a DSCR is going to work just famously for you.
But okay, so now if we want cash flow, is there a minimum down payment on that DSCR?
Sure, there is a minimum. It's just like it's an investor transaction. These aren't for owner occupied.
20 or 25%.
So you're looking at 20-25%
because
down.
You want a cash.
We
flow.
actually do have a 15% down DSCR program. Believe it or not, we have one.
But for cash flow, you probably want in this market now. We probably want 25% down.
So what's interesting is that 30% of the market right now are investors buying, and very few of them actually have cash flow because of interest rates. And so I interviewed a few of them, and I'm like, why are you buying so many properties when you can't get cash flow? He goes, that's a temporary problem. We're looking at what's going to happen to our values in the future. So these investors are smart enough to know that this is a buying opportunity, that the money will come with the value. So they'll keep it, rent it, maybe break even. I got a couple of people, they're losing $250 a month in rent, but they're fine with buying because they know the values are going to come back. So
yeah,
and once you refinance it, then you'll be even again or making some profit.
Speaking of rents, I mean, rents were skyrocketing the past 3 years with
they've
multiple offers,
stabilized a little
and
bit.
they've stabilized now. And what's going to happen is I've actually had I've had some tenants pushing back. We manage a bunch of properties, and we send them a letter. In the 9th month, we'll send them a letter saying, hey, your rent's going from $2,700 to $2,900. I've had some people pushing back lately because they're looking around saying, wait a minute, I can move and I can get something. And it's funny because they'll do the math on buying, getting the moving truck or getting a U-Haul for the weekend and spending a weekend of their time moving. And usually then we'll look at, okay, is this a tenant we want to keep? Are they neat and clean? They pay on time? Okay, great. If they aren't, we just say, okay, goodbye. But I'm seeing them, but as interest rates come down, I don't think rents will go down, but they will stabilize, maybe stay flat. And then as prices go up, they're going to start to climb again.
I think here's what I got. First of all, we saw a big increase in rent during COVID when everybody was buying, and there was a shortage of rental properties. Well, there's still a shortage of rental properties, but rents stabilized because they went up so sharply. But now everybody's getting hit with double the cost of homeowners insurance. You're going to start to see that rents, I believe, in the next 12 months are going to start to have another increase in rent costs. That's what I think. Hey, listen, I promised I wanted to talk a little bit about the NAR settlement. I know it's not totally relevant to what everybody's thinking out there, but it does make a difference because, you even ran into an issue with a transaction because these rules are new. So now the rules are from NAR that the listing agent for a home cannot advertise what the commission is to the buyer's agent.
But in MLS.
MLS.
So it's going to come out of MLS and it's going to go into other platforms.
Well, it's going to have to.
It will. And here's the
so I think I'm going to build my own platform that just promotes how much
I'm getting emails about them now because it's going to take effect. I think they pushed it off till August or September.
Yeah.
But here's my thing, Bruce. And it's funny because what the government wanted, they want us to be in every part of our life, aspect of our life. They did not make things simpler by doing what they did.
Of course,
but in this part, they said it's for the consumer to have more say-so in the realtor they pick and what are they paying.
Right.
So, but here's the thing. So I charge.
But you always have been able to.
You have been, and then you're negotiating. But let's say there is a seller out there that was, says he's going to pay I'm just going to make up numbers here. He's going to pay a 5% commission to the buyer's agent, and the buyer's agent's like, well, that's cooked into my price. I don't want to have that much in there. And so after the buyer didn't have as much power to go to the realtor and say, well, I want some of that commission. It really wasn't any of the buyer's business the way that things were working. So now the buyer can say, well, I'm going to have an agent and I'm going to pay that agent 3 or 4%. And that's what we have to sign. We're going to have to sign that up front with the buyer. Now it gives but
the dilemma is, what if you're a first time home buyer, you don't have the money to pay your realtor?
That too. So, cause in NAR, some people are talking about, oh, well, that's steering. And so let's say there's some sellers that are going to pay commission and some that aren't to the buyer's agent. What's going to happen when the buyer's got no money? They call it steering, like, oh, we're steering people away from those neighborhoods and those houses. But if the buyer doesn't have any money, that's not steering. So
it's really not steering. And NAR came out. They actually came out because they were having issues with agent steering away from properties that weren't paying the buyer's agent commission. But the fact of the matter is if my buyer doesn't have the money to pay me, then I can't show that property.
And here's the thing. And this is what's it's gonna lead to, I mean, I think it'll be good for my business because I know my numbers, and I know how to explain them to other agents. I know how to tell them to the seller and say what's easiest. I know what works and what doesn't. So when this happens and some sellers out there are going to go, oh, well, I'm just not going to pay the buyer's agent.
Right.
You will probably not get more showings, not because people are steering away from you, but because the other agents don't know. Well, I guess they will be steering away from, but they don't know their numbers, and they don't know how to come to you and say, well, the buyer needs a 5% down payment or a 10% down payment. They don't know how to do that math. And plus the buyer's got 2 points of compression. Plus we want to get a buy down. Plus they don't know how to do that math.
No, they don't.
Because their boss is virtual in an office in another city. They've never sat through a sales training course. They've never written 20 offers in a month on a property.
No, most of them don't write 20 in a year.
So this is what's important about knowing your numbers and knowing what's happening on a sale. And I will sit down with sellers that have been listed before and I say, well, hey, what's your mortgage balance? All right, if we sell for this much and here's the real estate commission, here's the doc stamps and here's the title, this is what you're going to walk away with. They're like, oh, we thought we had more in closing costs.
It's not complicated.
It's not complicated.
Hey, we need to give out our numbers.
Right.
Go ahead.
407-352-8118 for Cleve Loveland. I will help you with your next real estate plan, and go to cleveloveland.com.
Yeah, or you call Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger Cross Country Mortgage, 35 years. Also host of the Lone Ranger radio show on Sundays at 11 o'clock on WDBO. And if you're ever in Tampa, you can pick me up on Saturdays at 11 o'clock on 102.5 The Bone, another one of our sister stations with Cox Media. If you want to get pre-approved for your financing, you want to just check out an equity line or a reverse mortgage, a refinance, a purchase, a construction loan, call the Lone Ranger. You can reach me now, 407-250-9144, 407-250-9144, or WeBringYouHome.com.
So kicking off the summer selling season, you're predicting high 6 rates?
Yeah, I think that we're going to pretty well stay where we are. I'd love to think that we could even get to a mid 6. If we could get to the mid 6s, I think you'd see a lot more people jumping in.
And what's going to happen too? Let's say a year, 18 months from now, we've got rates at 5 3/4 or 5.5. All the refis that are going to go, all the appreciation people have, all that capital that's cut loose when people are still in the market. And then the other thing too, you were talking about the bank rate, most unaffordable cities. Did we even go into that?
Not yet, but let's
save it for another show. But you were those cities they're talking about being unaffordable are in Florida, and it's because we're the median price. We're very affordable.
I want to just mention a quick thing about it, because you had Tampa, Orlando, Cape Coral, and Lakeland. Lakeland was number 10. Orlando was number 9. But here's the thing. That tells me that this is the buying opportunity. If they're going to become unaffordable, that tells me I need to buy as many as I can right now.
And what it is it's people from more expensive markets coming to our market buying. And that's what I see out there all the time. I don't see busloads of New Yorkers coming in here.
Thank God.
I think that's less than 5% of people buying.
No offense, New Yorkers. Some of you I love. The other ones, they're not so much.
Yeah. But it's just, I think it's other people coming from other parts of Florida. They just sold for $1.5 million. They come here,
my Florida.
Exactly. And they come here and they sold for $1.5 million in West Palm or in Naples. And they're going to buy something here for $500, have a great house, and then give their financial planner a bunch of money and buy that fancy golf cart they wanted for their golf villa. So it's just, this is what I see happening all around Central Florida. That's the median price. That's the price that's going to jump up 10% a year when our market picks back up. Now it's 5% in a Sleepy Joe crappy economy. So,
yep.
But if you have any questions, you can call me at 407-352-8118 or go to cleveloveland.com. And Bruce?
Yeah. And don't forget, you got Hometown Heroes is going to be unveiled on July 1st. It'll last for 3 weeks. You can get up maybe a month. You can get up to $35,000 for down payment assistance, as long as you make less than $130,000 a year and have a 640 credit score, and you haven't owned a primary in the last 3 years, you may very well qualify. Call the Lone Ranger. We'll get you fixed up on that. It also comes with reduced interest rates. 407-250-9144, or get your application started right now at WeBringYouHome.com. Cleve Loveland, he's out and about this weekend. You can reach him now at 407-352-8118. I know Nanette's out writing contracts. I gave her a referral for one one of our family members. She's got that one under contract. You guys are kicking butt and taking names. I'm glad to be on the air with you. Thank you all for tuning in to us. We really appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock, same station.